Greetings, YouTube. I saw a blurb somewhere on Tumblr recently, and then someone had posted a tweet concerning the purpose of AI is to solve the $1 trillion problem. Now, you're probably asking yourself, that's a big number. Okay, $1 trillion is a big number. What is the $1 trillion problem? Well, the $1 trillion problem is wages. See, AI wants to solve the problem of wages. They want to replace paying people with having software do all the thinking and planning and creativity and work for everybody. Boom. Suddenly, you won't have to pay people things because the computers will be doing everything. Now, ignoring the fact that you're going to have service industries that will never be able to be replaced with AIs, it does beg the question if AI does in fact replace every conceivable job that can be replaced, okay? Who buys stuff? Remember that capitalism is based on a fallacy that you can have an ever expanding market, that there will always be new gihas that people want, and that a balanced economic environment, uh, biosphere, if you will, can't exist. You have to have constant scarcity, constant need, constant growth. Without it, the whole thing collapses. And capitalists want to have labor costs of zero, the $1 trillion problem. But they also want a consumer base with an unlimited spending supply. They want you to have unlimited discretionary money. But they also don't want to pay you. And if you look at those two statements simultaneously, you can see the conundrum. Because if they don't pay anyone, how do they expect anyone to have discretionary money? Because remember, if you're one company's employee, but you're a myriad number of other companies' consumer. So if your company pays you nothing, you can't consume. Now, a smarter person would look at the situation and say, hey, maybe if we had a system set up so that each person had a thriving wage and humans were allowed to work as much as they wanted and earn as much they want with a very solid foundation so that no one fell through the cracks. So those that don't want to get involved in the capitalist schemes don't have to. They would neither be exploited nor exploiters. They just want to do their thing. But for the folks that want to get on that particular, hamster wheel, they can. Which is a system I would always thought would be the smartest thing. Yes, the people will not be billionaires probably, but they'll still be multimillionaires worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And they can still play the game saying, I've got this and I've got that, lording it over the other people who have also decided to play the game. And then the rest of us who don't want to play the game can sit back and just do our lives the way we want to. I mean, if I had shelter and food and healthcare and the educational sources I need, and we had sensible things like, sane copyright laws and such, I would have an endless array of stuff to watch and listen to and read. I could putz around my shop and do what I want to. I wouldn't have to worry about my health going south and meaning I would lose my home and my health insurance and my life. But instead of that, we have a thousand insane billionaires in the world who decided that they want to hoard it all. And they want to have everyone doing everything for them for free. And yet also not understanding that their consumer base would disappear. If the world is nothing but chattel slaves, they don't have resources. They don't buy your things. And I've always been fascinated by that. For me, that's it's really obvious. And maybe that's part of my cognitive rigidity because of my autism. Maybe because I've seen this framework and it just I'm like, wow, that doesn't make any sense to me. Also, it's because economists are essentially modern shamans. Economics is not a science in any way, shape, or form. I know they have a Nobel Prize, but it's not an actual Nobel Prize. It is not a prize given out by the Nobel Committee. It is a prize that was created in honor of the Nobel Prize, just so they could use the name. But it's still a way of, giving someone who's really good at economics a gift, which is cool. Okay. People who study hard, who have good thoughts, maybe deserve that kind of thing. But it's not a Nobel Prize. And what they're discussing is, I personally think, at this stage, very much like Greek philosophy was. Yes, some really awesome thoughts and stuff, but it's not a science. It's no different than the era of alchemy. From alchemy grew chemistry. And I feel that someday, from modern economics, we will get a science. But we're not there yet. And right now, economists are alchemists. They're peddling their particular formulas to whoever listen, each one saying that theirs is the best snake oil on the block. But that's what it is, snake oil. I've often joked that if you asked 12 economists for a solution to a problem, you'd get 13 answers because they don't agree amongst themselves. They often contradict themselves constantly. And if you look at the record of what they say over time, it shows you that they really don't know what's going on, but they do it well. They sound good. And sometimes that's all you got to do to make a buck. You don't have to necessarily be a true grifter. You just have to make sure that you're telling the right people the right things, and they will pay you to listen to you because you're saying things they want to hear. And you can make a lot of money doing that. If you know how to lie in the right ears, you will never go poor. You'll never go hungry. Um, so yeah, the $1 trillion problem is wages. And yet that means that there is no one to buy their stuff. So tell me, how do these super geniuses think that the world's going to function when we're all nothing but peasants on the outside?